Hey everyone, it is your girl Kimberly, and we are here for our weekly dream session. So let me ask Naziah this since he's standing right here and he's in the video. So Naziah, what is your goal? What is something that you want to achieve this year?
I need to read 102 books.
Okay, Naziah's goal is to read 102 books, and he has a goal poster for it, and he marks them off as he does each book. How many books have you read so far this year? Do you remember?
Okay, so I read 2 15s, and I read so
15 plus 15
15 plus 15 plus 2 is
plus 2. Okay, so you read 32 books so far this year. Do you feel like you're on track to achieve your goal by the end of the year? Yeah? Okay. All right. So even Naziah has a goal, right? He has a goal. His goal is to read 102 books this year. And so we're in the second quarter of the year, And my question to you tonight is, are you on track? Are you on track? Are you further along than where you were when you set that goal at the beginning of the year? Or are you in the same place? And it doesn't matter really where you are. I hope you've made forward progress, but if not, okay, don't worry, because we have a total of 3 more this quarter plus 3 more quarters by the end of the year in December, right? But if you're in Mary Kay, we're in the last quarter of our seminar year. So, what can you do? What can you do to get back on track? What can you do to make sure that you actually achieve your goal by the end of the year? One, you got to make the decision that you're going to get it done. You can't be wavering. You can't be saying, "Oh, I want to," and then that's it, right? Because when you make a decision, action follows the decision. So you have to actually make the decision that you're going to do it without a shadow of a doubt. Like, okay, I'm going to get it done. Like, I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of saying every single year that this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I am going to do it. I'm going to do it. I made up my mind. That is it. I'm going to get it done, right? That is the thing. That's the first step, is you have to make the decision. If you don't make the decision, you'll just throw it out there, not really intentional about it. And then the year come and go, and then you still haven't achieved it, right? So you have to be fully committed to the decision that you make. And if you're not willing to make the decision, then you got to change the goal. Like, it can't be your goal, right? You got to change the goal. You got to change it to something that you're willing to work towards, and you're willing to work and get after it, right? So you got to make the decision. But once the decision is made, the next step is action. Action follows the decision. What is the action that can be taken today, this week, to get you one step closer to achieving your goal? And it might be, booking some appointments, getting some appointments on your books. It might be calling a realtor if your goal is to buy a house, right? Like, whatever your goal is, but you got to take some action, because if you don't take action, it's like, okay, what's the point? Why you got to go, right? What's the point? You have to take action. And then once you take action, the third thing is you got to be consistent. You can't like take action today and then 2 weeks go by, you haven't done anything at all, right? You got to be consistent with it, even if it's like 10 minutes a day. We all can spare 10 minutes a day to work towards our goal or our dream. Because if we can't do that, then are we sure that that's really our goal and our dream? If we cannot find 10 minutes out of 24 hours in a day, 10 minutes a day, you all, is 70 minutes a week. Like, that's an hour and 10 minutes out of 168 hours in a week. How important is your goal? How important is your dream? Right? How important is it? Is it important enough to find some time to put towards it? Because if it's not, then you might need to change your goal or change your dream or reevaluate and see if this is something you really want to do. If this is really something that you want to work towards, right? So you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. So the first thing is you got to make a decision. The second thing is action has to come after that decision. You got to put forth some action. And then the third thing is you got to be consistent in your activity and in your action. You can't just be like, okay, I did something. Now I'm one step closer. And then 2 months go by and you do absolutely nothing, right? So you got to put in some action with it as well. But then the last thing is you got to always look and see where you are. You got to look, you got to go back and be like, okay, this was my goal, this is my dream. Okay, how far have I come so far? Am I moving forward or am I moving backwards? Like, what am I doing, right? Because You're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. There's no such thing as standing still. You're moving forward or you're moving backwards because you know why? Time is continuing to move, right? And so if you're not moving, you're going backwards because time is continuing to move. Hey, May May, time is continuing to move. So you want to make sure that you are moving forward, even if it's a little step, but moving in a forward direction. Because if you're standing still, you're going backwards. I know it. You feel like, oh, I'm standing still, but time is continuing to move, right? Which means that you're going backwards. You are going backwards. So I hope that helped. Let's get back on track. Okay, this is the second quarter of the year. Let's get back on track. Let's get back to working towards our goal, working towards our dream. Because if it wasn't a goal or dream that you really want, then you got to change it. You got to do something that's going to get you excited, get you something that's going to get you excited about waking up in the morning, about finding time in your schedule to actually work towards it as well. Okay. So I hope they help. I want to know, like, what is your goal? What is your dream? Post it in the comments. What is your goal? What is your dream? Like, what is it that you're working on for this year as well? Okay. My goal is right behind me, those sticky notes on the wall. When those sticky notes on the wall are removed, I've reached my goal. Okay. Like those sticky notes are to remind me, like, girl, when I come in here, it's like, okay, I got to get to work. I got to start removing those sticky notes off the wall because that's my goal. Each sticky note represents something towards my goal. Okay. And so the more I work towards my goal, the more sticky notes I can move off of my wall. It's just a visual for me to be able to see. And it's a reminder for me. We always talk about visuals. You got to put it in front of you so you can see it. I also have like pictures and stuff up of things that I want to achieve too. But that right there is like a constant reminder because even when I get on my video, it's like behind me, like, okay, girl, like you got to get to work, right? So you want to have something like that that is going to constantly remind you, like Naziah has his goal poster every time he reads a book, he gets to color it in, right? So you want to have something like that. And maybe you can definitely get your own home. You can definitely get your own home. But there's some things that you have to do, right? You have to do some things right now in order to set yourself up so that you can do it. And it can definitely be done as well. So thank you all so much for getting on. I hope you're having an amazing week. Tomorrow is Friday, the start of the weekend. So let's do something today, tomorrow, to get you one step closer to your goal. Have a good night.